Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of the Off the Cushion podcast, offering simplified teachings from Chan Buddhism and other traditions. Off the Cushion seeks to make meditation accessible to practitioners of all backgrounds and skill levels, helping you to find peace wherever life takes you. I'm Sam Profesana, and with me is Dwayne Rester. How are you, Dwayne?
I'm great. It's good to know that we're on episode 8. That's really, really nice.
It's really cool and really appreciate everyone for listening. And there'll be many more to come. And in this episode, we're going to continue our exploration of the meditation method known as Silent Illumination with an actual practice session. So if you're just tuning in, it might be helpful to listen to the previous episode, episode 7, where we provide a little bit of an overview of the method and how to practice it. So without further ado, please take it away, Dwayne, if you want to lead us in or just start whatever you'd like to do. We're ready to participate.
Okay. I'll just a quick recap. If you had to say what is silent illumination in one or two sentences, and basically it's the our minds active and alert and devoid of overlay of opinions of the content of consciousness, as Krishnamurti might say. So we're cognizant, we have our intelligence, but it's like a blank slate in activity in life. So silent illumination is not necessarily a sitting practice, nor is it even a practice or a method of meditation. It is the true nature of mind without the content of consciousness. Just using that terminology, I thought that was one of the probably best. Otherwise, some of them seem kind of mystical. It doesn't mean we're floating off into space or we're going to be at some higher plane of existence. It means that we're able to engage with life, with people, with our job, with whatever's going on, with a mind that's open, alert, and receptive. But in order to become familiar with that within a sitting practice, there's two ways that we can go about it within this method. And one is to become aware of our body through relaxation. And so I'll start with a guided relaxation, and then we'll bring in the subtle method of breath, of following the breath. This isn't a counting the breath. This isn't breath through the nostrils. This is the method of breath, or being aware of the, if you want to call it the vibe of the body, just sitting, the movement of the body through breathing, through circulation, a body that's relaxed and sitting on the cushion. So what I'll do is I'll ring our bell, and if you want to take just a moment to settle in, if you're listening to this, then go ahead and do so. And then I'll ring the bell and do a guided relaxation. It's not anything different than what we normally would lead from my lineage, our lineage. It's just that our focus is not going to be on very strict sense of breath, nor will it be on Wato. Always begin with a good foundation. And that foundation is our body upright, relaxed, without any created tension from our sitting posture. So it's a relaxed posture with our shoulders above the hips, head above the shoulders. The buttocks sitting in a chair on a cushion, relaxed. Let's first bring our attention to just breathing in and out. Not so much attention on whether you're breathing in or breathing out, just the passage of air in the body as the body kind of moves, expanding and contracting. Now that we've brought ourselves present, let's refine that sense a bit, and let's go through a guided relaxation. Bring your awareness to the top of your head. This could be like a cool breeze or a warm light, depending on your conditions where you're sitting now. But just kind of the other from what it is now. So if you're really warm, just imagine a cool breeze blowing over the top of your head. If you can feel that subtle difference, that indicates the power of your awareness and that you're relaxing. Now let's move down the forehead and space between the eyes. This area can be relaxed by creating tension with the forehead, or almost like tightening the eyes, the eyebrows, loosening that area. Noticing the difference between when we create tension and when we let go of tension. For sitting, our eyes will be mostly closed. Eyelids relaxed. Nothing to see. Relax the muscles in the face. You can create tension with maybe tightening the jaw, moving the lips back and forth, but ultimately then relaxing. No created tension. Now let's move to the back of the head and coming down the neck. To help relax the neck, you can lean your head to one side and to the other. Some familiarity with those muscles moving. Feel those muscles moving. It's actually easier to notice tension and then relax. Bringing your head back to center. And moving down into the shoulders. Very important area to relax. How to relax. Lifting the shoulders up toward the ears. Dropping them down. Even rotating the shoulders in the that shoulder joint. Moving down both arms simultaneously. Relaxing the forearm. Biceps and triceps. You can even shake your arms out a little bit if you need to. And your hands can be resting on your knees at this point. And relaxing that large muscle group down to the elbow. Moving down through the forearms. Across the top of the hand and the palms of the hands. Coming to the fingers. The fingers join the palms and then relaxing down each finger simultaneously. If your hands are resting on your knees, you can actually contract your fingers and expand them out and then shake them kind of loose. You may notice a slight tingling at the tips of your fingers. That's a good indication that your fingers are relaxed, your arms are relaxed. Let's move to the front of the body. Now let's heighten that awareness of that cycle of breathing in and out. Notice the movement in the body as you breathe in and out. Again, it's not important whether the chest is expanding or the abdomen is expanding and contraction. Just notice the movement. As the breathing becomes more subtle, this movement is all that you noticed, all that you might notice, and it's usually in your abdomen. Now moving to the back of the body, down the spine, allowing the shift of weight down the body. Down the spine, going through the shoulder blades, the middle of the back, the lower back, and into the hips. This next part is just as important as feeling the three key areas relaxed, which is the forehead, shoulders, and the abdomen. That's where you're grounded. And that's your buttocks on the chair or on a cushion. And to help verify this groundedness, you can sway the body a little bit left to right. Notice those shift of weight on your buttocks, on your glutes, and then front and back. Try to maintain a level of awareness of this area always. If you frequently lose this grounded sense, it indicates two things. One is your body's not relaxed. And two is that you're thinking about relaxing. You're thinking about meditation. We try to approach it through the felt sense of the body. In this case, it's the sense of touch. This embodied sense of feeling the weight of the body down on the cushion. The subtle movement of the body breathing. This is what we sit with for a little while. If you notice outside sounds from the environment, I have a window open, so you might hear a bird. But just allow that sound to come in as it is going to, without naming, labeling, comparing, contrasting. And the same goes for our felt sense of sitting. The method is just this, just sitting. The real tactile sense of the body, sitting. Or even if you've been sitting for even a few years, it's necessary to go back through the body and relax those key areas. There might be this urgency to experience a mind clear of all thoughts. But if that is your drive, then you're not clear of all thoughts. You have this push to get to some place, to add to your content of experience. There's no content here to be arrived at. You're already here. Mind clear, experiencing, sitting. No labels, no form, no perception, no consciousness. Just this experiencing. Other traditions may use the almost overused word of awareness. Experiencing, or if you like to use the term awareness, is this place that's behind or in between thoughts. If we did not have this true nature of mind between thoughts, we would have to turn the brain on as a thought came in and off as a thought went by. But there it sits all the time, this ability to experience without content, this ability to be aware without opinion. If you're familiar with this method, or you want to challenge this a little bit, you can open your eyes and experience seeing. Just the mechanism of the eyes opening up, allowing the eyes to do what they do, which is to see. We arrive at content of consciousness, or we start writing on that blackboard when we describe what we see, to describe our perspective, our knowledge, our opinion, our ideas. That's not just seeing. That's content of consciousness. Or if you hear, you can open up your hearing, so to speak. And can you hear without labeling, comparing, contrasting, not trying to push it away? So you can go back and close your eyes again. Feel yourself grounded, Just that real sense. I feel the weight of my body down. I feel the gentle touch of my thumbs touching. I feel the subtle movement of my breath in my body. The ears may still be engaged, but it's just sound. It's just the ears operating as they do. Again, you can open the eyes and just see. You might notice that before we even began this, if your eyes were open, you might be a lot of mental activity happening with noting, comparing, contrasting, naming, labeling, all of these things that we habitually do. But now the items in front of you are just things that the eyes bring in based on the mechanism of the eye. But the brain is more alert, more clear, less fragmented. What is fragmentation of mind? Fragmentation of mind is when we start applying labels, we don't see things wholly as they are. The mind is conditioned or programmed, habituated. We see things and hear things as we've learned them to be, as we've taught ourselves to be, therefore limiting, not what they actually are. I would close the eyes again. Come back to the movement of breath in the body. Body just sitting. There may come a time that all you feel is this downward weight. You may not notice the difference with your hands cupped, your thumbs touching. There's something happening there, but don't distinguish parts of the body. I feel the weight of the body, but I don't feel it on my buttocks. I just feel the weight of the body downward. This is the beginning of silence. The illumination is just the awareness of the silence. I'm going to ring a bell, but please stay with me on this next part. You can bring your hands to your knees. Rotate the upper body a couple of times one way and the other. We can still, even this method of what's called self-massage, be aware in this mind of silence, bringing awareness or illumination to sensation. The warmer palms, put those palms over your eyes. Do that again. Gently bring those fingers down the length of the face. Rubbing the palms and the fingers together again and gently bringing a sense of touch to the scalp. Please don't rush this. Using the thumbs and the index finger to pull on the ears gently. Using one hand to massage the neck. Mind void of all opinions, ideas, what to do next, just here. That is silence. The illumination, so to speak, is experiencing. What are you experiencing? The hand squeezing muscle. No content of consciousness, in other words, no opinions, no ideas, no comparing, no contrasting, no urges to do something else. That is silent illumination. Pulling on each finger. Moving to the other side. Both arms complete, rubbing the chest a bit. Coming down the sides of the rib cage toward the belly button. Rubbing the abdomen. If we don't have content on how the self-massage is done, we will do a video. If you're not familiar with it, rubbing the back. The point here is, if you're experienced with this, is to not rush this, but to bring this quiet mind, quietude, to the felt sense of the self-massage. Rubbing both legs, rotating the feet and the ankles. So that was actually 27 minutes. Not too bad. Recap real quick. There's a lot of terminology out there with the different traditions. And many of them are saying the same thing. You may hear words like quietude, silence, I've forgotten some of the other terminology, but it's not that theirs are all different. There are many paths that lead to the same place. Even forms of prayer, mystical type prayer, where you're at union with God, so to speak. And if we have our minds loaded with ideas, opinions, wishes, all of that content of character, content of consciousness, rather. That is not silence. To be with a mind that is alert, not dead, not hazy, but alert. Even there can be a sense of anticipation through fascination or curiosity that kind of awaits the next experiencing through the sense gates. So when we were sitting, you may have noticed that in between, when I had you open your eyes or maybe listening a little bit and then coming back, then all of a sudden that body, you might have noticed the body sensations the body begins to drop away, so to speak. You know, when you have your hands like this and your thumbs are touching, you're well aware that your hands are like this and your thumbs are touching. But some point later, you don't even notice where your hands and your thumbs are. There's just this felt sense of weight. And you can't really distinguish between your hands and your thumbs and your legs and your buttocks. You just feel the weight of the body. When people use these almost mystical, they don't mean to be this, but the body drops away. It doesn't mean that you suddenly levitate, although some people sell it that way. It's not that. It's just that your overall burdens of the body through content of consciousness, through habituation, that all just goes away. It's only through our opinions, our ideas, our habitual tendencies that we notice these different categories of the body. That is not silence. That is not quietude. That's overlay. That's filters. As those things begin to drop away, it's not that you're dead to it. You're well aware of the overall sense of the weight of the body. When you hear sounds, the sounds obviously, you know, there's the old Zen question: does the sound come from the outside or from the inside? Well, of course, there's sound waves and all of this jazz, but really all of that stuff, even our thoughts of that come to the sense gates, are all internalizations. And so if you opened your eyes or you listen, and we'll talk about sound now. If all the sounds begin to kind of drown together, there's just this orchestra of life, things that you might not even heard before. Like in my house, I'm looking around, there's a fan going, there's a refrigerator, I have a window open over here. And then, you know, as the mind becomes more relaxed, it's just this orchestra of sound. That's what I can come up with right now. That's being done inside the head. I don't necessarily distinguish a direction of sound. And the same goes for when your eyes are open and the eyes are just seeing. So if you hear some of those, the eyes just see, the ears just hear, that's what it kind of means. The sense of touch is just this felt sense of the bodily weight grounded. Is that awakening? No. Is that an indication of what awakening is like? Yeah. It's just that return to all the categorizations that we do that begins to lose its tentacles. It begins to lose its stickiness. And the magic behind that, of course, is that with a very real sense of the self, what we call the self, which is all of that, when that really drops away, the bottom of the bucket drops out. The bottom of the lacquer bucket is something I've talked about. What is that? What is that? What makes up the bottom of that bucket? It is the content of our consciousness. And again, I don't want to keep explaining what I mean by that. That's just everything. That just dissipates. Then we're able to engage more clearly, more thoroughly, more openly, more holistically with what's in front of us. Doesn't mean we ascend to heaven or some other place. We're still here. We still have jobs. We still have taxes to pay and all of that jazz. But maybe we're not so pulled away. But just a quick explanation. But that was the general practice of silent illumination. You can do that sitting, and once you're really accustomed to it, then you can go for a walk. So this is like the practice of direct contemplation, except all sense gates are open: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, all the time, without us creating overlays.
Dwayne, thank you so much for that really beautiful practice and the explanation both before and after the practice. I think this is a great episode to listen to over and over again as a guided meditation. And just to underscore a couple things that you said, one of them is the importance of putting a lot of time and energy, attentiveness into the progressive relaxation, not as something that we, and similar with the self massage that we do afterwards, not as something we have to get through to get to the meditation practice or to get on with whatever we're doing after the meditation practice, but actually all of it is part of the part of the practice and helping us prime the body and mind for meditation. Uh, because once one practices for a few days, few months, few years, it starts to become evident that there's no difference between the actual meditation method and everything else that we do.
Right.
That's just a shift of our perspective. So it's not that I'm doing my progressive relaxation so I can get to silent illumination. Actually, the idea is so that I want silent illumination to pervade every moment of my, waking and perhaps, sleeping or dreaming life so that the practice is part of how I approach everything that I do. And that moves to the second thing that I'd like to underscore is the development of one's practice over time. Uh, not only sitting for this one session, this one episode, and thinking, okay, that I've had this really rich meditation session, and that's what meditation is, and I can put it in a box and put it away. No, we have to keep practicing. This is a daily practice, week after week, year after year, that keeps evolving, keeps changing, because we keep evolving and changing as
Yes.
we're not static ourselves. And so paying attention to this, um, not expectation that things will change or that we'll hit certain milestones or the bottom of the bucket will drop out or any of those things, but just staying with the practice over time, very important as well.
Right. Very good.
I think that's it for today. And think unless you have anything else to share, Dwayne, of course, there's always more to do.
No, I don't. Except to say that check your expectation. And one way to do that is just to come back to this idea that, yeah, when I was doing this right here, all I really noticed was just this, and it felt really nice. That's silent illumination. You just did it. There's no place to go. You just did it.
It's beautiful. There are some other methods that are related to silent illumination. Perhaps we'll get into them in a later episode. Sometimes, for example, direct contemplation, people can, if they have trouble with silent illumination, can be a nice,
Right. That'd
uh,
be a good one. Maybe we'll do that one next.
sounds good.
And, yeah. We
So
can do a practice. I mean, we can explain it, and then I don't know. Maybe we'll just run a video or something that people could watch with sound, and then they could use contemplate sound or contemplate the video that we run. It might be something as simple as the ocean waves or something. So they could do either. At
it'd be
least
really,
I'm don't not really looking to control the environment, but so somebody could have a real experience of just seeing or just hearing,
can be really
which is
helpful for
yeah.
people who, the embodied stuff doesn't work so well for them that they more attracted to sound or sight.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see. We'll encounter it in due time. So thanks so much
Great.
for everyone for listening to the Off the Cushion podcast. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. That really does help us. And you can leave us a comment or question or email us at offthecushionpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll see you next time. Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you. Have a good day, guys.